Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal, I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid, upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream, and I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's two ways you can give me your answers. Number one, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number two, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news, what would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you. So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode. Well, hello, I'm Kimberly Rock, and for the last 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. And so now I'm on a mission to help other women just like you do the exact same thing. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started. Well, hello, this is Kimberly. It's episode 35, and I'm so glad that you have decided to be here today. I know you're trying to build a business you love and you want to do it right. So make sure you hit the subscribe button right now, whether you're in Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whatever you're in, to make sure you don't miss out on any future episodes. I release them usually on Thursdays, but you'll get a quick notification and make sure that you get the tips you need to build your business right. So thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the episode. Well, hello. I'm so glad you're here today. We are talking about the 5 big mistakes that I see online business owners make. And this is mainly new business owners or early stage online business owners. These are big mistakes that I see them make, and I don't want you to make them. So I wanted to share them with you today. So here they are. So the first one is spending tons of money on the website and the graphics in the very beginning of your business. That is a no-no. And I know you're thinking, but wait, I want it to look totally perfect for people to see it. And I'm going to share it with my friends and family. You guys, the fantastic news these days here in 2020 and beyond is that websites are actually becoming more simple. They really are. It used to be about fancy, ornate logos and awesome big graphics and design and custom looks to your website. And nowadays, everything is simple and clear and clean. And the good news about that is that's so much more inexpensive to make, and you can actually do it. There's so many great tools. When I started my online business in 2003, I started with a Yahoo store, which I had to kind of build myself. And it was not good at the time because you can imagine what 2003 website builders would be, but it was effective. My business was booming. Eventually, I moved from a Yahoo store to a platform called Magento, which is sort of like a WordPress, like a custom. It was very expensive for me to get someone to design it, and it was such a pain, and it was all ornate and fancy, and it did great. It did awesome, but I'm telling you, the Yahoo store did just as good if you're talking about revenue. Then I eventually moved to Shopify when it was probably maybe 7 years ago. Loved it. Absolutely love Shopify. If you have a product-based business, it's awesome. The support was great. It was awesome. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get templates. You can add in your colors. And I'm telling you, if you are going to have an online business where you're going to have your own website and you're scared of the technology, the good news is it's so much easier. But the other news is you're going to have to learn how to do your platform. because you want to have control over your website. You don't want it under the control of a programmer. You just don't. Not right out of the gate. If you're starting small and just trying to get going, if this is a side hustle, you need control. So you need a Squarespace, or a Wix. But if you have a product business, you can start on Etsy. I mean, there's so many ways to start that are so inexpensive, and all you need is like a basic logo and some colors. And people do that now for under $500. You could get a logo and some brand colors and get going. Okay, so do not spend a ton of money, because your business will evolve. And eventually, then when you know your exact path, you know the exact products or services you're selling and how you're going to be offering them, that will depend on the platform. Because I can tell you now, again, your business will evolve. Your products or services will change and your needs will change. And you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money in the beginning on a platform you are not 100% that you are going to stay on. Okay? And I'll tell you this from personal experience. It is now June of 2020. And in November of last year, so that's 8 months ago is when this podcast launched. I had my site on Wix platform, Wix, if y'all aren't familiar with it. I eventually moved to Squarespace because I liked it a lot better and found it easier and cleaner, and moved to Squarespace. And now I'm in the middle of another transition, because now I'm offering the online workshops that are coming up, which I'm so excited about, but I needed a different type of platform. So imagine if I had spent thousands and thousands on website platforms each time. Now, I did hire a graphic designer, and she was awesome for my first site, and I've carried it over. I built my second site myself on Squarespace, and she built the basic pages, and you can get someone to do that. It doesn't have to be expensive. You just need a logo and a few pages if you're going to have your own website, or you can go on Etsy. If you're going to have a product-based business, start there. Start smart. Start the lowest cost you can, get a good logo that has your colors, that represents everything, and go from there, because you've got to get going first, and then you can start adding on all the different bells and whistles and graphic design and all that as you are for sure on the platform that you are going to stay on. Okay. The second big mistake I see people make is that they think that if they build it, customers will come. And you've heard this before, and you know this is not true, right? That just because you have a website, people don't find you. Just because you have a podcast, people don't hear you. Just because you have a YouTube channel, people don't watch you. There has to be marketing involved. And when I say marketing, don't get scared that I mean advertising and all this kind of thing. I don't. I just mean a way of sharing what you offer and finding the right people who would love it. Okay, that's marketing. It can be local. It can be word of mouth, which is awesome, right? You can be doing online courses and teaching and workshops. You can do all sorts of things, but don't believe that just because you build it and you get your website up that you're like, yes, I'm going to get sales. No, it's going to take some work. Okay, so do not think that. So again, the first one is don't spend a lot of money on building a website. Number two, but don't think that once you get your website up that people are just going to come. Some people think because if they don't have a fancy website, that's why people aren't buying. And that's not true. You need to have a clean, clear, crisp, and easy website. It doesn't have to be super graphically fancy. Okay. Okay. So the third thing is I see online business owner these days building their client base through social media without capturing customers' email addresses and all that. Or I guess I shouldn't say customers. They're marketing on social media. They're marketing on Facebook. I'm not talking about paid advertising, just free ways. And they've got all these followers and they think, oh, I have this huge customer base. But what happens when Instagram changes their algorithm? Because they will. And I've already heard rumors that they are going to be decreasing the amount of business exposure, like business accounts. So there's this whole toss-up of whether you just keep your personal account and you change it to business. I don't know the right answer at all. I'm not an expert on this. My point is, don't leave your business in someone else's hands. You need to have control of it. And you need to be capturing email addresses. You need to be building an email list so that you have clients under your umbrella versus the umbrella of Instagram or the umbrella of Facebook where you don't have control. Okay. So just keep that in the back of your mind that you need to have a way to be keeping your customers under your roof. The fourth big mistake I see new online business owners make is that they watch what everyone else is doing and they get distracted and start going down a path in their business that they didn't really intend to go. And what I mean by this is you all day could sit there and look on Instagram or Facebook and what all the other people that are in your industry are doing and how they're flying on private jets and how they are making $1 million. I mean, I see stuff all the time and it literally makes me crazy because number one, I know not everyone is making millions of dollars. Okay. And number two, I'm seeing what they're doing, but I don't really know what's going on behind their business. You don't really know. It's just a facade. It's social media. And I have to be honest, I'm not a big fan. I follow people and yes, my followers are growing, but I don't believe that that's where my business comes from. And from what I know, it's not. People find me through word of mouth, or they may hear me on my podcast. They know a friend that knows me. I mean, it's things like that. Social media, yes, I'll get followers and I'll get people on my email list. But I think it's hard to get people to really know who you are and connect with you as much on those platforms. And I also think as a business owner, if I sat there all day watching them, I might get distracted and start thinking, oh no, I need to be doing this. Oh no, I should be doing that. Oh no, this is what's successful. And it will distract you and take you off your path. My suggestion for you, take Instagram off of your phone. I mean, I know it sounds drastic. You can schedule out your Instagram posts. I've talked about this before. There's a million different schedulers. Tailwind, Planoly. I'm trying to think of all the other ones. I can't even think of all the names right now. But there are so many ways you can schedule out and you don't have to be staring at what everyone else is doing and getting distracted from what you know you want to be doing and that you are meant to be doing. You're not meant to be on their path. You're not meant to be doing what they're doing. You're meant to have a business your way, built on your terms, while achieving your definition of success, because your definition of success may be different than mine and anyone else's, right? So stop watching what everyone else is doing. And you've heard me talk about this before too. I've talked about not comparing yourself, and it's hard, but you've got to protect yourself. Okay. The fifth big mistake that I see online business owners make is they don't leverage their God-given gifts. Have you thought about that? Are you taking your unique strengths and gifts in using those every day in your business? If I asked you right now, what are the top 2 things that you do best? What would you say? And whatever you would think of right now, the top 1 or 2 things, are you spending 70% of your time doing that? And if you're not, then you're not leveraging what you do best. And you know what? You are your biggest asset. You are your business's biggest asset. And if you're not leveraging you, what are you leveraging? Are you leveraging what you think people want? Are you leveraging what you think you should be doing versus what you were really meant to be doing? Have you thought about that? What are you meant to be doing? You need to be doing that 70% of the time. I've heard other statistics, 60% of the time, 80%, but you need to be outsourcing the things that you know you're not good at, but you need to be capitalizing on what you already do best. Okay, so if you design clothing, you don't need to be spending half your time working on your website. You need to be working 70% of the time designing the clothing, right? Or if you're really good with customers and clients, you need to be most of the time dealing with customers and clients. If you're good at all the marketing tactics and sales funnels and email creation and copywriting, then do that and outsource the other stuff. You've got to leverage what you're good at because that's what's going to help your business be successful. It's also going to be what helps you make the impact you were made to make. It's going to help you make a difference in this world. It's going to help you enjoy your business and love it and be personally fulfilled. And it's going to give you sustainability for your business. So I hope you took these to heart today. Again, the 5 big mistakes. Don't make them. Don't waste money in the beginning on building this fancy website when you don't even totally know the direction your business is going. Number 2, don't think just because you put up a website that they're going to come, because they're not. If you put up an Etsy store today, it doesn't mean you're going to get any sales. You have to have marketing. Number 3, don't put your business in someone else's hands like Instagram or Facebook. Make sure you have control of your business and that you're capturing email addresses as you have people following you and liking your stuff. Number 4, stop watching what everyone else is doing and focus on what you were meant to be doing. Okay? Do what is in your head where you're like, I really want to take my business in this direction. Good news here. You get to build your business the way you want. You don't have to build it like everyone else's. And the 5th thing is make sure you are leveraging your God-given gifts, because that is what's going to make your business stand out. That's what's going to make you love your business. That's what's going to make you feel personally fulfilled. And that's what's going to allow you to create impact in the way that you were meant to make it. I am so happy that you listened today. Thanks for sticking around. And if you are a female and you want to be part of a Facebook group, I've got a great group of women who are all building businesses, doing what we love, and you can request to get in the group as well. I'll put a link below. So that is it. Thank you so much for listening. And again, if you're just starting your business too, make sure you get my 16 steps to get your business going. I've got it there in the links. And that is it. I hope you all have a great week. Bye now.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.